it going?
Hey, Alexa.
I was just wondering if you could give us a little bit of a rundown on, since you are well familiar with Dallas, what are the things that you guys are really zeroing in on and looking to perfect going into tomorrow?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, they're a great offensive rebounding team, right? It's us and them at the top two of every offensive rebounding category. And we've done such a good job our last two games, keeping them off the offensive glass, and that has to continue. We have to get second opportunities, and we've got to really limit their second chances. So first and foremost, offensive rebounding. And then second, they're a really good 3-point shooting team, right? They average over 9 made threes a game. They can really get hot at the arc. And we've got to contain them at the arc. The last 2 games we've averaged holding them to 6 threes a game. So again, guarding the arc, making them go 2 by 2 by 2 is going to be big for us. And then lastly is their transition. They're really dangerous when they can get out and run. And that starts with our offense, taking care of the basketball, not turning the ball over, giving them opportunities to get out and run. So those are the 3 kind of big keys for us going into this game.
And for you all to have this week or so to really obviously prepare for Dallas, but I'm sure work on yourselves too. What were some of the biggest things that you're looking to, just like make sure are looking good for this last stretch of the regular season coming up?
Right. No, it was good to have a few days to work on us and to early prep for Dallas. This road trip is big for us, but we're staying in this moment, 1 game at a time, 1 quarter at a time. And for us, it's just all about staying sharp, not turning the ball over, doing what we do and doing it well. And so that's kind of what we've continued to focus on, doing what has got us to this point, and made us successful and continuing to do that.
Thanks, Brandy. Appreciate it.
Ron?
Hello, Brandy.
Hey, Ron.
I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. As I'm going over your numbers, and is there a constant in those 7-game win streak? Is there something that has just been consistent that you've been able to do?
Yeah, give the ball to JJ and Bree Jones. I mean, they've been consistently good for us, but no, all jokes aside, it is playing through the paint. Whether that be our post getting post touches, whether that be DB getting post touches, whether that be our guards getting into the paint and then making plays for themselves or others. We've got to continue to play through the paint. That's what's been successful for us on the offensive end. On the defensive end, obviously, they have just bought into our preparation, to our scouting. They play so hard that even when we do make defensive mistakes, it's covered up because of how hard they play. So we have to remain consistent defensively on that end of the floor as well.
And how important is it for you to get a big start tomorrow? I mean, really come out gangbusters, because you look at Dallas in the first quarter, and it happened against Atlanta. And I think they've won only 4 games where they trailed or where they won or trailed after the first quarter. How important is it for you to get off to a quick start?
Well, I think that's important just for us, for our mentality and playing well. And again, we know that we're facing some teams here this week that are fighting for the playoff lives right now, right? So we have something to play for too as well, but these teams are fighting to stay in the playoffs. And so they're going to come fired out of a cannon, not to mention the fact that we are sitting in number 1 right now. We do understand the responsibility that comes with that. We're going to get everybody's best effort, everybody's best game every night. So if we're not ready to play from the tip, then that means trouble for us too, right? So yeah, we have to be ready for that. And again, we talk about living in each moment and taking each quarter at a time, and doing what we need to do, everybody doing their job to help us keep being successful.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing you too.
Ned?
There we go. Unmute first. Happy Laboring Day, Brandy. Sorry you got stuck with us. File workman's comp. In this 9-game winning streak, has there anything that stuck out to you that the average person may not be picking up on that you guys have been doing really well?
Definitely our defense. I mean, it just starts, everything we do starts with our defense. And it's not just about blocks and steals. It's all those little things. I don't think people understand we don't do what we do without Breon January and Jazz Thomas locking up some of these really, really good guards and being aggressive. We don't do what we're doing without Bree Jones. Smart she is behind the ball and rotating and helping. Just little things like that in defensive rotations that probably the common fan doesn't understand or doesn't see, but we do. And just playing as a unit collectively on the defensive end of the floor is just really special right now. What they're doing on the defensive end is really special. And they're just all bought in and they hold each other accountable. Like we don't even have to coach them sometimes. They hold each other accountable on the defensive end. And it's really special and fun to watch right now.
What kind of changes have you seen there defensively without Alyssa from this year to last year?
Obviously AT is an incredible defender and just so aggressive and flies around the floor and plays hard. And so it's just a different, it's a collective team effort all over the floor where, and AT covered up so many mistakes for us too. Everything's different without AT because she's such a unique, talented player in this league. We've had to learn, but defensively, it's a collective team effort and everybody's bought into that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ned.
Go get dinner.
Thanks, Brenda. You're all set.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ned, do you have any questions for Bree Jan?
Afternoon, Breanne. How are you doing?
Doing well. Are you in the car?
Yes, I just got back from a gathering and I had to pull over and do a Zoom interview.
Well, thanks for joining us.
We're living in an age of technological wonders.
Right? Aren't we?
During this 9-game winning streak, has there anything that's stood out to you that maybe the average person would not be picking up on that you guys have been doing well?
I mean, from within our team, I really just think we have maintained great focus, and we have continued to learn from each game. There's been slippage in each game. There's been things that we needed to get better at. And I think we've done a really good job of not settling and being okay with it. Like even in those wins, we have been very critical of how we've been playing. And, so after a couple of those wins, we walked in the locker room and it was quiet because we weren't okay with how we played, even though we came out with the win. So I think not being satisfied with our performance night in, night out, even though it's been coming up with wins, and we're lucky enough to be learning through wins, but we are committed to getting better. And I think that starts with everybody on our team. That's not just coming from the coaches, that's from our team. But I really do think so. And just the commitment to our defense. I think people do see that. We haven't done well in every game, but we've been consistent on the defensive end, just playing hard. So I'm really proud of our team on that end.
Thank you.
Alexa? Hey, Bree. I'm actually going to follow up off of a question that Ned was asking Brandy just now, but she was saying how she thinks that this year's defense without Alyssa versus last year's or previous years with Alyssa, it just really revolves around you guys playing better, basically team defense. And I'm curious, because it really seems like you guys were playing such great defense in the beginning of the season. What does it take to have like that good team defense, really from the get-go, but obviously for you guys to keep improving that, game after game to, where you guys are now, where you're like the best defense in the league?
It takes a lot of, commitment. It's not fun, like a lot of people don't enjoy it. I mean, we've tried to turn it into being fun, taking people out of what they want to do, but just a commitment to that side of the floor is what it takes. Because, a lot of people plan for offense, how we're going to get our shots. Like we are going every game and really dissecting teams down to figure out how to limit them and disrupt them as much as possible. But on our team, it's just communication. I think that is the cornerstone of our defense, is just communicating, making sure we're on the same page, letting each other know we have our back, what schemes we're in, where we are, talking behind the ball, talking in front of the ball. knowing the opponent's offensive sets. I think the communication is the key cornerstone to our defense, and we've continued to just be really good with that. I mean, I'm lucky to have post players on our team that really, really talk and let us know things behind our backs, because we can't see a lot of things most of the time. But
is that something that you picked up on or you saw last year too? Obviously JJ wasn't there, but is that a difference too from this year to last year?
I think we just built off last year, and I mean, another thing that I didn't mention is like, they're great players and you're not going to be able to guard everything perfectly, but you got to keep working. You got to keep scrambling. You never give up on a possession. And I think we've done that. We continue to go and get late contests, or, get our box outs, or rotate to the next on an extra pass. Like, all that stuff is important. Just playing the entire possession and not giving up. But I think we built on that from last year.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ron?
Hi, Bree. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Just tried to give you some Connecticut weather here today in Dallas. That balmy 99 degrees with 100% humidity.
I looked at the weather and it said 72, but feels like something. And I was like, wait, what's going on outside?
I know. And I always kid Brandy about that because we've known each other for a long time. But her come back to Texas, just love the weather. Nobody stops Enrique, but what everybody has done this season, they try to make her inefficient. I've had 2 coaches so far this year tell me she can get 30. We want her to take 30 shots to get that. Is that your philosophy on it? Make her inefficient?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. With great scorers like that, you can't take away every shot they take, but you can try and contest, make them a little uncomfortable, and continue. They're going to continue to shoot through. That's what good scorers do. They shoot through misses. They have short memories, and they keep going. So the more we can make her comfortable and put up shots that she's not really in rhythm doing, the better we're doing our job. And it's you don't stop, like you said, you don't stop great players like Enrique. You can just try and be there and disrupt a little bit, show bodies, do what you can, but she's going to get some buckets, and you just got to be okay with that at the end of the day.
Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Bridget.
Perfect. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm good.
Good to have you in Dallas. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. So what have you learned this season? Is there something that maybe you didn't know? I mean, I've known your college coach, Brenda, a long time, and I know she stressed defense and toughness, but is there something on the pro level that this team, because of the record, the winning and everything, has taught you?
Yeah, I definitely think being consistent, that's like the biggest thing, coming in every day, going hard, no matter what, no matter how tired you are. You're always going to bring energy, effort, and communication each day, whether it's practice or in the game.
What's your sister's worst habit?
Sister's worst habit. I don't think I can think of one right now.
No. Hey, I had 2 daughters, and they're willing to tell on each other no matter what. I know that.
Yeah.
But what was it like growing up? I mean, did you guys play basketball all the time? I mean, was it competitive in your house?
I was very competitive in our house. I also have 2 brothers, so we would play a lot of 2-on-2 together. Yeah, every day was always something, whether it was basketball. Me and Bree also played volleyball, so we would compete in that. And yeah, it was like always something new every day. Playing cards was a big thing. Like, yeah, we're just competitive in everything we did.
I look forward to having you in Dallas tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
Alexa?
Hey, Stephanie, with all the success that Bree has seen this season, like from being an all-star to, Eastern Conference Player of the Week, all that stuff, and coming off such a good stretch over the last few weeks, what about just what she's been able to do this season, or even last season too, because that's when she really emerged into this role, are you most proud of, or do you think maybe even goes most unnoticed from, the public?
Yeah, I think last year was a great year for her to be able to build her confidence, getting more playing time, and just seeing the floor like that. She's able to get her rhythm really for like playing in the W. So, and then I think that really transferred to this year. And yeah, everybody's just being able to see what she can do. I mean, she's always been a great player to me. So yeah, I'm really happy for her and really proud of what she's been able to do this year. It's really awesome.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. You're all set, Steph.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.